It's Thursday, April 22nd, 2021, and we're going to talk more about Cardano Africa. Get ready. Let's go. Item number one, let's do a little recap of what we learned yesterday when the Africa special was announced. Actually announced the day before yesterday for you listening right now. We learned that Cody's ADA Pay is probably going to play a much larger role in the Cardano Pan-Africa strategy than a lot of people previously thought. My guess is that Cody's ADA Pay is probably going to be the larger payments infrastructure puzzle piece. I say the larger piece in the sense that I think it's going to be the more universal piece that might apply across a larger area than just East Africa. Because I think Payway.et is probably the local payments puzzle piece in East Africa, right? They were showing it as a partner down here in this little side scrolling section. There we go, Payway Ethiopia. They're showing as a partner down there. And I think Cardano is probably doing the smart thing right here, right? It's like Cardano needed a way for people to pay for things like local utilities, local internet, local water, all that good stuff. And Payways aren't doing that. There's no reason why Cardano should reinvent the wheel and build out something that already exists. We need them doing blockchain stuff, not building out payment infrastructure off blockchain. Payway's already done it, so they just partner with Payway. That's great. But they don't just need the local payments piece. If this is going to be a crypto project, people need a way to get crypto. We notice the yellowcard.io is also a partner right there. Yellowcard.io is probably, my guess is it's probably the local coin exchange puzzle piece, right? Again, Cardano could have built out a local exchange for people to use a fiat on-ramp to go from local currency to ADA or whatever crypto it's going to be. We don't know. Could even be a Addis Ababa municipal government stablecoin. We don't even know. We're going to find out next Thursday. But we do know that it sounds like Cardano's doing the smart thing. They're partnering with a local coin exchange to fill that piece of the puzzle. Number four, there's always World Mobile, right? Lurking in the corner over there. Like World Mobile, as far as I know, is not mentioned on this website, but World Mobile might be the answer to that question that people have always asked. Like, okay, yeah, this is great, but this assumes that people even have internet access. And while a shocking number of people in sub-Saharan Africa already have internet access, not everybody does. Yesterday, we saw that World Mobile intends to sell network node towers to businessmen in Africa who can then put them up in rural areas in Africa. World Mobile has a great video of exactly that happening in a small village in Tanzania. You can find that on YouTube, and it's linked yesterday in the Reddit post from yesterday. So Cardano's already got this like larger payments infrastructure piece in Coty. They've got a local payments piece in Payway.et. They've got a local coin exchange piece in yellowcard.io, and they possibly got a network connectivity piece in World Mobile. This is all fantastic because these are all questions people have asked. How are people going to get online? How are people going to get crypto? How are they actually going to make those payments you've been talking about? We've now got partners on the website that answer all of these questions. This makes me super excited, right? It's like every time something like this comes up, how is Cardano going to do the following? Somebody's already answered that question and thought it out. In this case, through partnerships. I'm super stoked. I think what we're going to get next Thursday is the Cardano Foundation and IOHK and Emergo putting all these disparate puzzle pieces together for us to explain to us exactly how all this is going to go down. I think there's some surprises probably we don't even know about yet. And I think could be exciting for the entire crypto space, not just Cardano. So remember, it's not today, it's next week. Once again, and still, champions Cardano, this time not just of GitHub commits. Here we are at stakingrewards.com, and you can see Cardano, highest staked value of any of these chains. Once again, damn near breaking the bones in our feet from kicking the competitors' asses so hard. We're kicking so much ass. Our feet are hurting. Please do better, competitors. We don't want to break our feet. We're trying not to break our feet around here. Please work harder, stake more value. We're tired of kicking your asses. Look at that. Beautiful. Number one, and not by a tiny bit. Not by a tiny bit. What have we got? We've got what is that? Is that 4 billion? We got 4 billion on Polkadot, and Polkadot is almost 13 billion ahead of the next competitor. Look at this. Way ahead of Ethereum, way ahead of Avalanche, way ahead of Algorand. We are destroying. Good work, Cardano community. I love winning. I love winning. It's so great. Item number 3, Cardstarter. So let's get something straight right out of the gate. I'm never ever going to provide you with investment advice. Why? Because I don't actually believe anybody really knows whether anything's going to go up, down, or sideways. I know social media, YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, it's full of people drawing triangles on charts for you, trying to convince you that they have some information in their head that's going to help you predict whether any given asset is going to go up, down, or sideways. I don't believe any of those guys really know. I believe they all have educated guesses, but I don't think they really know, because if they really knew, they would be professional investors. They'd be spending all their time managing their own billions of dollars. I don't think they really know. I think a lot of guys are putting on a show, and certainly technical analysis or guesses, it can tell you certain things. We have data that's in those charts, and that can tell you certain things. Can it tell you tomorrow whether something's going to go up, down, or sideways? Not with any level of certainty, right? And I think you all know that because you watch these guys drawing triangles, and they're going to tell you what a high likelihood of one of those three things is: up, down, or sideways. And the very next day, it does the exact opposite, right? This is something we've seen time and time again, and that's because nobody really knows. So because I think nobody really knows, I'm never going to give you investment advice. Don't ever come to these videos looking for investment advice. I'll never give it to you because I don't think anybody really knows. Having said that, I'm going to try to point out the things that I think are noteworthy about certain projects, right? At the Cardano Rumor Rundown, we're focused on the rails, not the train. Cardano is the rails. So we're focused on the rails. But it's interesting to know what projects are developing on those rails. So we're going to talk about the projects in that news sense, right? None of this should inform an investment decision. Do not rely on any of this to invest or not invest in a project. I'm just going to point out the things that jump out at me. And I'm not saying they're good or bad. I'm just saying this is what jumps out at me. So Rick McCracken did an interview with the Cardstarter guys, and the Cardstarter guys are very likable personalities. And Rick did his usual thing where he's like Columbo the detective. He's like, super friendly, amiable guy. And then he asks these super pointed, hard-hitting questions at exactly the right time, right? It's beautiful to watch. He lulls his guests into a sense of safety and complacency, and then he hits them with the very pointed question. He's very good at it. Watch him do this. So the interesting things that jump out at me about the Cardstarter project are these. It appears that Cardstarter is saying they're somehow going to insure their community backers against certain types of financial losses. And they're very transparent in this interview about saying there are caveats. They're not going to insure people forever. And there are probably other caveats. They're not even saying what types of losses they're going to insure against. There are caveats. There are exceptions. They're not giving you an absolute insurance against financial loss here. You'll see it advertised pretty prominently, though, on their website. The first insured project accelerator for Cardano. How do you know this is not an absolute form of insurance? Because if there was any investment anywhere in the world in any asset that was absolutely insured against financial loss, all of the money in the world would flow into that asset. If Tesla came out and they said, we're absolutely insuring our investors, all of the money would flow into Tesla. So we know that's not the case with Cardstarter. We know there are caveats. You should know there are caveats, right? They also say they plan to fund projects prior to token launch through token vouchers, right? So they're saying they're going to fund projects even before those projects launch a token. Just know that. 3, it sounds like they're building a DEX called CardSwap. So we're going to have a DEX. They're going to have an accelerator. I'm sure a lot of people will invest in this. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. Watch the interview with Rick. Form your own opinion. But I can say I'm super excited right now about Cardano in general. Next Thursday, we're going to have the Africa special. We've been waiting a long, long time for that. I think everybody is and should be excited. It's going to be a good week leading up to it and the start of a new era maybe for Cardano and maybe a new era for the whole crypto space when we're really doing something useful out in the real world. This is going to be a first for the whole crypto space, probably. Like I said, nobody really knows for sure what's going to happen in the future, but things are sure looking good. So I'll definitely see you next Thursday, but I'll also see you tomorrow.